On the 6th of November 1999, 23-year-old Jennifer Watkins was a Colorado Springs resident who was reported missing by her husband Michael after she failed to return home following a shift as a food service aide at the Memorial Hospital. On the same day, her mother also contacted the police to report her daughter missing when she didn't return to pick up her children after her shift. An extensive search began for her, and people close to her, including her family and co-workers, were interviewed. Michael located Jennifer's vehicle in an employee parking lot. The car was impounded and searched, but it didn't reveal any clues to her whereabouts. At around 10 a.m. on the 8th of November 1999, the police were notified that a body was found by two maintenance workers under a secluded part of the stairwell in an area of the hospital under construction. The workers entered the stairwell on the 8th floor to inspect and repair an elevator shaft. As they entered, there was a pungent smell that guided them to look under the stairwell and saw what looked like the shape of a body wrapped in plastic and bound with duct tape. After the authorities arrived at the scene, they started moving the plastic and found the lifeless body of a white adult female with brown hair. She was wearing a teal-coloured uniform smock, a purple blouse, and black pants. Her clothing was positioned in a way that suggested that she had been violated. Evidence was collected at the crime scene and all leads were investigated. An autopsy was completed and identified that the victim to be that of Jennifer Watkins. She had passed away due to blunt force trauma to the head. An examination of the plastic wrap used to cover the body of Jennifer revealed some hairs, fibre, and a yellow-white stain that was present. Other than Jennifer's DNA, two other DNA profiles were developed from the evidence submitted for analysis. These profiles were developed from foreign DNA samples collected from her body, from the plastic wrap, and from the victim's pants. An extensive investigation followed, however no suspects were identified, and the case eventually went cold. Between 2017 and 2018, cold case detectives partnered with the DNA technology company Parabon. They completed a DNA phenotyping process, and investigators were able to develop a composite image of the suspect that was created through DNA found at the scene. The lab estimated that the suspect was about 25 years of age at the time and of Northern European descent, had blue or green eyes, with blonde or brown hair and a fair complexion. In March of 2019, a CODIS DNA hit was received on an unknown DNA profile that was developed from the evidence collected at the autopsy of Jennifer. The match in this instance was her husband, and it was expected to be present upon information they learned during the initial investigation. The remaining unknown DNA profile was developed from the yellow-white stain found on the pants of Jennifer, and it was reviewed using genetic genealogy. In August of 2020, after accessing publicly available ancestry websites and developing family trees of the suspect, they narrowed their search to Ricky Severt, who would have been 29 years old at the time of the crime. Ricky was originally interviewed on the 19th of November 1999, along with other people in the building. He worked as an employee at the maintenance department at the Memorial Hospital at the time, and had been employed there since April of 1998. Based on the work schedule he provided during his interview, he would have been working a swing shift on the 5th of November 1999, the date Jennifer was last seen. He also denied having seen Jennifer before. Further investigation revealed that Ricky was involved in a fatal traffic collision on the 2nd of November 2001 on Highway 94, just east of Colorado Springs. In September of 2020, familial DNA was collected from surviving relatives of Ricky and sent to the crime lab for analysis. On the 9th of December 2020, it was declared that Ricky Severt was responsible for taking Jennifer's life. Since Ricky is no longer alive, the investigators closed Jennifer's case. Colorado Police Department Chief Vince Niski said, "After all these years, we're grateful to finally give Jennifer Watkins' family the answers they deserve. No matter the length of time, we've always worked to serve this community, and I'm proud of the cold case detectives throughout the last 21 years who've never stopped working for Ms. Watkins." Not for one moment did they ever lose sight of what's most important, finding the truth for the Watkins family. And thank you to our partners. We would not have been able to solve this case without your time, skill, and dedication.